Good day down at the allotment again. I'm at the allotment every day at the moment though, so there we are. I'm looking over there because that's what I'm going to be talking about. Our climbing beans need to go on the vinyl or on that area this year. And my issue has been, how do I use the bamboo cane, something that I have already, to put up frames that they can climb up without actually puncturing the vinyl? And of course, the answer is I can't. Some people have said to me, well, you could buy this or you could buy that and build the frame around it. And yes, I could, but I don't really want to buy anything. As you'll see, we've got loads of bamboos and I want to utilize them rather than buying something new, because I might as well buy, if I buy, somebody suggested something, it was like £85. And it's like, if I buy £85 for just that, I might as well buy £85 worth of beans. But hey, anyway, that doesn't matter. So what I've decided to do, as I say, I don't want to puncture that vinyl, because if I puncture that vinyl, A, it'll have holes in, and B, if I want to put tape over those holes, it'll just get all messy. I've also got some anxiety over that vinyl because I'm not sure it's actually suppressing the weeds in the way that I'd expected it to. Maybe if it was black, it would be better than that white side. Underneath, obviously, it's a banner, so underneath it's printed. It's sort of oranges and browns, and it's faces of people and things like that. So yeah, I'm slightly anxious. I hope I'm not. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. But it seems to me, because some areas it's sort of puffed up a bit, which implies to me that there's things growing underneath it. Anyway, let me stop waffling and let me go and show you what I'm going to do today. I was always going to use this as a growing space this year, but as I've just said, what I realise is, in order to have our growing beans on here, our climbing beans on here, or even our tomatoes, we're going to need to put some type of frame in, and I haven't been able to work out how to do that without buying stuff. So what I've decided to do is to move the things that are in pots, so the apple trees, the comfrey, the strawberries, off here, move the bamboos away, take up this vinyl, see what it's like underneath, and then replace the vinyl with cardboard again. I know you know I like cardboard. Replace it with cardboard that I've been collecting. What that will do is keep the light out, because I also am not sure that this vinyl, because it's not a dark color, even on the sort of proper side, if you like, it's sort of like orangey and sort of pale browns. It's not really doing the suppressant job that I wanted to do, or I wanted it to do rather, in killing off weeds. So if I put cardboard down, at least that's going to obliterate light getting there. One of the issues, I believe, is some areas, well, maybe not. I was thinking this is much more uneven, but maybe it's not. I mean, you can see there's an indentation because that's where water's collected. But I thought it was the same here. But when I press here, I think there's stuff growing under there. Let me take all of this off and then we'll pull back the vinyl. glad I've done that, because, sorry about my shadow, as you can see, there's an awful lot of green growth going on there. So the light isn't really being suppressed by the by that banner. Find that, I thought it might be the case, but I didn't think it would be. I mean, look at that. Look at if I turn it there, this is the growth under the banner. This is the growth down the path where there's no banner. Right. So yeah. Right. I'm going to carry on and take the banner off. Oh dear. That is not what I expected at all, I must admit. So those banners, vinyl banners, just haven't worked. Most probably because the sun is able to get through them. As I say, you can see down this area where there was darker colours on the front of the banner. There's been much more weed suppressant than over there. But you know what? Well, I mean, it's not fine. it's a huge shame. But I guess it's better to find this out now than when I get to the winter and find that everything has grown underneath. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of leveling off and then put cardboard down. Yeah, I'm just going to crack on. As you can see, I got my green twine out, and I decided to take this plant that was here out, and it's now gone into a plant pot. I'll find a place for it, but I remembered my advice of the last year, which is if you have a volunteer plant and it's not in the right place, it's most probably best to move it because it will get in the way otherwise. So that's what I've done. I've sort of partly leveled this ground. It's not completely level by any means, but there were some sort of areas here and here that were quite there was quite a dip. It does actually go up in this area a bit, but you know what, I'm not going to worry about that for this year. This is a bed that I want to sort out this autumn. And this is not going to be an edge bed like the others. It's not going to have an edge. It's just going to be flat on the ground. And now it is time to put cardboard down. I've got lots of pegs to hold it down. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get on with now. Right, so that's sort of job done. What I'm envisaging is 2 lines. Now I see the space. I can see that I can get 2 full rows of canes in here. What I mean is apex this side, apex that side. So I'm just going to get some of the grow bags that we're using this year to grow the beans in and place them down. Right, I've got 12 more of those at home to bring down to the allotment, but that will be another day. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm wondering whether instead of doing the bamboos this way, whether I do them that way. Let me just shuffle those along a bit. Right, things have changed. I've decided that this is going to be our tomato bed for this year rather than the bean bed. And we're going to use what I was going to use for the tomato bed, which is this bed here. That's going to be used for a double climbing beans bed, so a full climbing beans bed. We've also got another bed on the plot next to us, or just up here, which I'm also going to put beans into. I'm going to do those possibly as a wigwam. So this is mainly going to be our tomato bed now, I think. I'm going to mull that over lunch. My thought is, if I do it this way, what I can do is I can grow squash down here. At the ends of each of these, I could grow squash. Just give me a minute. That's my thought. Because this path, what I've actually decided is this bed is coming out. That'll come out in the next couple of days. That's garlic, but the verbascum will stay in. I'm going to be growing things just like you can see down here. I've got the mint in, and I'm going to put something else into this one. I've decided, you can't really see it very well, but the strawberries, you see the strawberry bench, not branch, the strawberry bench is there. Actually, I'm happy for it to stay there and have a narrower path here and grow against this edge. And that will mean that if I put squash in these bags, I can let them trail rather than climb this year. And then if the squash start growing into the tomatoes, I can sort of edge them back this way, if you see what I mean, and let them quite happily trail around here. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. So I think I'll get another, what will I get? Another, maybe maybe 2 lots of tomatoes in there. So it most probably won't be enough tomatoes. I might grow some on the vinyl over here, because of course now I've taken this vinyl up and seen what's underneath. I know that the vinyl that we've got over there, the white one you can see, which is right under, I mean, that's going to be doing the same thing. I'm sure everything is growing under there, under here as well. I've got more cardboard, so I think that's a job for another day. And I think I'm going to go home and have some lunch and mull this area. Yeah. A few hours later and job done. I brought from home 8 of the other planters that we have. So yeah, this is how it looks. Not pretty, but functional. And certainly the ground underneath here will need to be sorted this winter, though hopefully by putting this cardboard out and obliterating light, the soil will be quite a bit better. I've shifted a few things around. Oh, I haven't put that compost bin lid back on, which I better do. The comfrey is going there, so the comfrey roots can now go straight into the ground. That's where it will stay. I've also moved the strawberry planter to the end of this bed. Quite happy for that to be there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So this is going to be our tomato bed rather than our bean bed, climbing bean bed, unless I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and decide otherwise. And then at the end, in the green bags, we will be putting squash. I think there's enough room for me. There's a little bit of room at the end here. I could shuffle these bags up a bit to the left to just give a bit more space between this one. But yeah, I mean, once tomatoes start growing, it's more about the height rather than the leaf, because we start pruning the leaves off from the bottom. What it does mean is that I need to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames for tomatoes this year, but that's fine. That's fine. I've also shuftied the bamboos around, and they are now standing vertically in those pallets. Gosh, it's still it's overcast, but it's still really bright. My eyes are really quite sensitive to the light. I think as I'm getting older, they're actually getting more sensitive. But hey ho, that's life. So I'm really pleased I've got that job done. I really am. It's been something that has been giving me anxiety. So I'm going to have to hold my hand there. Anxiety for a good couple of weeks, because I was worried that it was growing underneath, and sure enough it was. Of course, what that does mean is that underneath the other vinyl, I'm sure that's growing as well. But hey ho, that is for another weekend. I've got plenty of cardboard in the shed now. And yeah, that'll be for another weekend. What that does give us is 60 tomato plants, by the way. So that's enough for Richard and I, mainly. Yeah. Anyway, fingers crossed on those. Lots of varieties this year. The tomatoes in the polytunnel are actually doing okay now. So they've all been potted on. You may have seen that video. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm going to go home and have a shower. Okay, bye.